Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to our series on this crazy guitar kit that one of my viewers sent me. Today we're going to be working on the neck. So for the purpose of working on this today, I've gone ahead and bolted the neck on. All right, and the neck itself is a little bit wider than the fretboard. The fretboard was glued on obviously with the neck being slightly wider, so I think there's some room for me to shave some of that off, maybe make it a little thinner from the top as well, and really kind of get the shape that I'm looking for here. Now, I mentioned this in the last video, I've taken the tuners off now, but the fretboard is also set up in such a way that, well, and these tuning peg holes are drilled in such a way that there isn't really straight string pull through here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything about that. What I am going to do is shave down this fretboard, and then I'm going to show you guys, we've got some gaps in the pocket. It's a bolt-on, so it may not be the end of the world, but if anybody has some constructive suggestions on how to deal with that, I'm open to hearing them. My thoughts right now are I will be bolting this on and gluing it on, and I will fill that gap with some epoxy and put a finish there. But if anybody's got a different thought, I don't particularly want to shim it and reroute it. I'm trying to avoid using those kind of things on this. I kind of, you know, it's a homemade guitar kit. It was done without templates or anything. It's actually very impressive that the guy managed to get it done this well. So in keeping with that, I'm kind of trying to keep the tools that I use to a minimum. For anyone who didn't know, it was Michael Perry, one of my viewers, who made this and sent it to me. Very impressive that he managed to do this without templates or anything. I think it's pretty cool. His contact information is in the comment section below. If you want to get in touch with him, if you're looking for a homemade kit or anything like that, you can let him know. And yeah, let's get started on this. So you can see kind of what we're dealing with here. We've got some gaps that'll need to be filled. And then along the side here, the neck is wider than the fretboard, which is cool. I'm going to show you guys how I intend to deal with that. And then over here, we've got our headstock. I'm going to do some by hand work to kind of change the shape of that a little bit. It's interesting, but I think it could use a little bit of modification. It looks like it was done mostly with a router. We've got a bit of a ridge in there and everything, so I'm going to take a shot at that as well, mostly with hand tools. I think our top is looking pretty cool here, this beautiful quilted maple. If you haven't seen how I did that, then I suggest you take a look at last week's video. In the back here, we've already done a whole bunch of shaping. We've basically changed the way that this body looks entirely. We've done some carves to make it more comfortable, put in kind of our different shape around the horn area. The pockets, we do have something to go in there that was supplied. I might change the shape of this a little bit and add a different kind of plate. Again, if anybody has suggestions, constructive suggestions, I'm open to those. And similarly for this one, this is where our battery pack goes. This thing's got active pickups to give it that extra output power to get through that top so that we can have that ghosted look on the front where you can't see pickups at all. This was done clearly with a Forstner bit. That should actually work just fine, so I don't really have any qualms with that. I might sand that a little bit, but there's really nothing to worry about on that front. This I might change the shape of slightly, but for now it's pretty comfortable. I just need to kind of smooth out these edges a little bit. I'm going to do that predominantly with a chisel and a file. So you'll see me do a little bit of work on that as well. So right now I've got this bolted together so that I can use the body on top of my protective thing here to kind of operate as a clamp almost for the neck. It's going to make things easier. I'm going to hang the neck off the edge of this bench. I'm going to clamp the body to the bench, and I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper and start getting to work on this neck and headstock. Let's do that. We'll get to work on this and you can see what I'm going to do. that's our neck and headstock reshaping done, I think. Yeah, that's feeling pretty comfortable. The neck no longer protrudes from the sides of the fretboard, which is good. That would have made things a little bit difficult. It's feeling nice and smooth. I got it up to 400 grit now, so it's basically ready for a finish. And yeah, that headstock design, a little bit more my speed. I still have Michael's logo in there and everything, and the remnants of the shape that he had, but it was just a little bit bulky, a little much for me. Just a matter of personal preference there, and I didn't particularly like those router lines around the edge. So that's dealt with. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do next, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. So stay tuned for the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with Michael, you can do so through the links and contact info below. I don't know if there are any links. The contact info. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.